my god, guys, look at this. Look at the road, it's so bad. And there's so many holes on the road. And I don't even know what the government is doing with the money. They said they are using OBB, but we don't see even like there's any facilities in our country like improving. Even the public hospital are so long with the queues and all. Is it even effective? The money that we are giving to the government. They said they are using OBB, but then we don't see anything also.
OBB? What is OBB?
Hey, do you guys not remember that we have learned about this last 2 weeks? You guys sleeping in the class, right? Are you?
No, last 2 weeks.
Outcome-based budgeting is based on the results-based management principles. The only difference being that OBB integrates the planning, budgeting, and monitoring and evaluation using a single result framework with a focus on outcome in its planning framework. Good budgeting is a way of ensuring that limited resources are allocated only where there are priorities. Priorities are best determined through proper and rigorous analysis of a situation or situational analysis. These priorities are then articulated as our intentions or what we hope to achieve. Often, this is referred to as an end state, or more commonly known as an outcome. Outcomes can be as simple as successfully and safely arriving at a destination, or could be as complex as successfully sending someone to the moon. Focusing on the end state is nothing new. In fact, in the early days, it was introduced as management by objective, or MBO. Private sector's end state is often reflected in its bottom line, whereas in the public sector, end state is more complex and challenging, given that it is not bottom line driven. Examples of typical outcome statements could be increased literacy, reduced mortality among infants, reduced poverty among farmers, increased competitiveness. Identifying outcomes will require detailed situational analysis, and its implementation will require a good and detailed action plan. Detailed plans will also assist in better budgeting and performance monitoring. OBB shifts the planning paradigm by focusing on achieving outcomes at the lowest cost in the shortest possible time.
So I'm going to explain about the objectives of outcome-based budgeting, or known as OBB. There are 4 in total objectives of OBB. The first one is to provide structural mechanism to translate policy and concept of National Transformation Program (NTP) to outcome and results. This NTP could be achieved through implementation of more effective and efficient activities such as OBB, and it also helps to improve the accountability in reporting, and it will result in better focus in all ministries' activities. The second objectives of OBB is to empower controlling officers to manage resources under their control. OBB integrates both development of OE towards achieving more efficient allocation of resources and effective implementation of programs. The third objectives of OBB is increased accountability at all levels through strengthening of governance framework. This OBB is established to improve more transparent in government accountability. The last objective objectives of OBB is to ensure government will achieve the concept of value for money for budget expenditure management. Well, these objectives will help to improve programs and project valuation so that budget expenditure management system is efficient and more effective.
So next, I'm going to explain on the principles of designing outcome-based budgeting or OBB. There are 8 principles in total of designing the OBB. The first one is planning and constructing of budget is based on program-based approach. The preparation of budget will be made based on outcome and the identified program output.
The second principles of designing OBB is the roles and responsibility of Ministry of Finance, MOF, EPU, and PSD in examining ministry budget. These 3 regulatory bodies are responsible to examine the budget to ensure the prepared budget conforms to the requirements to achieve the outcome. The third principle is ministry program aligned to the National Results Framework, the NRF, in order to have a clearly implementation to the NRF. The fourth principle is medium-term perspectives in planning and budget. It suits the period to achieve the outcome of programs or activities that might not be achieved in a particular budget year. Next, strengthen performance management. By strengthening the M&E process enables effective decision making to be made based on valid evidence. Thus, it will strengthen the performance of the management. Next, empowering controlling officer. The controlling officer should be given the power or the authority to manage the resources under his control and will be responsible to the achievement of outcome and expected result. Next, incentives for results achievements. In order to strengthen the accountability of the controlling officers in the public sector in doing their jobs, the government should give some sort of incentives or rewards to the controlling officer. The last one is continuous development of ability, where it is needed to ensure sustainability of principles and practice of OBB through systematic training plan at national and ministry level.
To make sure the effectiveness and sustainability of implementing OBB should be supported by an institution structure. So therefore, there comes up with 4 main committees and 2 subcommittees, which are, the first one is NOSC, second one is CPMC, the third one is PRC, and the last committees is NOIC. So the subcommittees are PPMC and the APMC. So we are going through each of this committee. For NOSC, NOSC stands for National OBB Steering Committee. This committee is chaired by the Secretary General of Treasury, which to set up the policies and way forward of OBB in the public sector. NOSC is responsible to develop and continuously improve the implementation of OBB, including the development of human capital and change management initiative to ensure sustainability of OBB. Next, we go to the CPMC. CPMC stands for Central Performance Management Committee. This committee is chaired by the Budget Director, MOF. CPMC is responsible in examining, evaluating and approving estimated budget for all ministries. CPMC also have to check and analyze the ministry's quarterly and yearly performance report to be presented in meeting of Secretary General and Head of Service, meeting of National Planning Development Committee and meeting of Cabinet and Parliament. The third one is PRC. PRC is Program Rationalization Committee. PRC is chaired by Deputy Secretary General of Treasury Policy and Deputy Director General 1 EPU. PRC is responsible to check, evaluate and approve the Ministry's proposal for new programs and activities to ensure the programs and activities contribute to the achievements of results and in line with NRF, which is National Results Framework. The last one is Ministry OBB Implementation Committee, which is MOIC. Each ministry has to set up its own MOIC, which headed by the controlling officer to monitor the OBB implementation and also for the achievement of results. MOIC is responsible to implement the strategic process of OBB. They will plan, develop and improve program and activities so that it will be aligned and contribute to NRF. So under this MOIC, there are two subcommittees which created for each program and activity. The first one is PPMC, stands for Program Performance Management Committee. It is chaired by the program manager and responsible to monitor the implementation and results achievement of programs. They will plan the directions and implementation of OBB to achieve the desired outcome. And the last part is Activity Performance Management Committee, which is APMC. This committee is headed by the head of activity and responsible to monitor the implementation and result achievement of activities. They will develop the action plan to implement activities so as to achieve the desired outcome as specified by the PPMC and MOIC. central agencies that responsible to this OBB system. The agencies are, the first one is EPU, which is Economic Planning Unit. The second one is Ministry of Finance. Next is Public Service Department. Implementation Coordination Unit, ICU, Accountant General Department, AGD, National Audit Department, NAD, and the last one is Malaysian Administrative Modernisation and Management Planning Unit. So basically this all 7 central agencies are involved in the reporting of results of this OBB.
So guys, I will the strategic template performance of OBB. In this article say, the purpose of the OBB is to show the clear alignment and relation between MRF at ministry level and NRF at national level, and therefore to identify other programs that coincides either inside or outside the ministry that contributes to the outcome achievement at ministry or national level. Actually, OBB have a strategic template that has been developed, which is Ministry Executive Summary. It is a strategic planning document on achievement of expected output and outcome, including financial performance of ministry. And the second one is a program performance management framework, which is a strategic planning document on budget preparation, M&E at program level. PPMF also supported by the program budget sheet that containing detailed information on estimated budget for any activity program. And the last one is activity performance management framework. It is a strategic planning document on the budget preparation and activity level, and it is supported by activity budget sheet containing detailed information of estimated budget for any activity.
So basically, what are the benefits of this system, Zuri?
The benefit is for OBB. The benefit is OBB sets clear priority at national, ministry program and activity levels, and it clearly align at operational level of objective with national goals. And it also provides a framework for eliminates overlapping programs. This will reduce the program redundancy and the cost, and it also gives a better focus on results, especially on the outcomes. And they also provide availability of the audit trail.
Oh, I see. So don't you think there are challenges during the implementation of OBB?
Sure, there are a lot of challenges, but some of the challenges is the level of acceptance and understanding related to OBB in the public sector is still low, such as government may face a loss of trainers. And the development of OBB is an evolution that requires commitment from top management of ministry and agency. The top management has to emphasize on a performance or orientation culture. And it also, the government needs to review the existing structure of programs and activity to adapt to the OBB.
I see.
So maybe if they really do all the steps and implement the process like accordingly, maybe that we could have like all those benefits that you stated, Zuri.
Yes.
But I bet they can overcome the challenges somehow. And also, once they implement the OBB, maybe we could have better facilities, and also you don't have to wait so long to go to the clinic when you're sick.
Alright, enough guys. So
I hope this OBB is going to be useful for our final exam.
hopefully there will be this chapter in the final